You know what? I actually did. I haven't hit too many tee shots. And then all of a sudden, the wind's kind of come off the left, and my little heel cut thing I'm, seeing, and all of a sudden there's people right off the tee box. And yeah, so it hit one in play, but it was an awesome day. It was just awesome to be back out here playing and be out there with my son, and we just had an absolute blast.
Great. Before we take some questions,
yeah.
What were you most excited about that you saw or did today in your game that might have revealed itself today in a competition round?
Well, I just had to, as you know, I'm just starting to get back into trying to play again, so I don't quite have the endurance that I would like to have, but just to be able to hit some shots. I still got the hands, I still got the feel. Unfortunately, sometimes the feel doesn't really match up with the speed and the shot I'm seeing. So that's one of the things that Joey and I were talking about. The ball's just not quite flying as far as I'd like or I'm used to. And so we had to talk about some of the numbers and some of the shots and making some of those small adjustments there.
Okay, all right, we'll take some questions. Just in front of the mic when you ask.
Just overall, how'd you feel health-wise, and you stopped taking shots toward the end? Was that by design, or you just get tired?
Both. I wasn't going to play much on the back nine anyways. Trying to save myself, just like last year, trying to save myself, for the weekend. And plus, most of the tee shots are going to be hit by Charlie anyways on the back nine. Some of the tee shots I've got to hit on the front nine. They moved his tee markers back, so we don't quite have the same advantages that we had last year.
And secondly, what kind of adjustments do you make with your swing
it's just not as powerful. I just don't have the speed. It is what it is. The ball doesn't fly as far. I can't generate the speed I used to, and the body's not what it used to be. And obviously, it's been a little bit banged up this year, and slowly but surely, hopefully I'll get to where the speed will start coming back up, and I can start hitting the shots that I know that I see that just aren't quite coming off.
Tiger, given the time frame, a lot of people are amazed you're here this week hitting shots. Are you amazed?
Yes and no. If you would ask me after those 3 months in the bed, would I be here? I would have given you a different answer. But there are no days off. We worked every day. Even days where I didn't feel very good, we still worked on something. So every day, there was never a day off the entire time. So other than those 3 months in bed, I haven't taken a day off.
Tiger, is it up to you when you want to start trying to walk a golf course, or do you have to wait for a doctor's okay? And what do you think that process is going to be like to try to build up?
Well, it's going to be a while. I couldn't walk this golf course even right now, even it's flat. I don't have the endurance. My leg's not quite right yet, and it's going to take time. I told you guys in the Bahamas that I'm a long way away from playing tournament golf. This is hit and hop in a cart and moving about my business just like I would have back home at Medalist. Playing tournament golf and being able to recover, practice and train and hit balls after a round and do all the things I need to do to be at a high level. I'm a long way away from that.
Could you envision, as this process goes on, even for a short time, whenever it is, applying for a cart?
No, I would no, absolutely not. Not for a PGA Tour event. No, that's just not who I am. That's not how I've always been. And if I can't play at that level, I can't play at that level. But this is a different event. This is a fun event. You get guys that are in their 80s out here playing, and if they didn't have carts, we wouldn't be able to see the likes of Lee Trevino or Gary Player out here. Well, Gary's different. Never mind. He'd probably do wind sprints on some of these holes, and then do push-ups, and then do a bunch of sit-ups on the green and stuff. But you wouldn't see a lot of some of the legends that I grew up idolizing and watching, and even got a chance to play early in my career. They wouldn't be able to play in these events. Their bodies are too banged up. But to be able to play with their child in this event, having the cart allows them to do that. And we're out here having a great time, and that's what it's all about. It's about the bonding and having the time of our lives.
Tiger, compared to the other injuries you've come back from, how is this one different as far as therapy and rehab, just to do what you did today?
This one's been a lot harder. It's been, yeah, the leg was pretty messed up, and as I said in the Bahamas, I'm happy it's still attached, so it's still here, so it's all good.
Tiger, Nadia Romero with CNN. Can you talk about trying to find that balance with Charlie of being his father and his coach on and off the course?
Well, I'm his father. I'm not his coach. I'm his father. And so if he wants to learn about the game of golf, then he'll ask. I'm there as a sounding board. But my job is to be a parent and make sure that his priorities are right, and school comes first. And then if he wants to play a sport, so be it. If it happens to be this or anything else, so be it. As long as that his priorities are correct, and that's my duty as a parent.
And we've seen the video of the similarities. I mean, your mannerisms, and there's so many things that we can point out that he has that you have. What would be something that you would say makes him a different golfer, that makes him a little bit different than you?
Well, I didn't have speed like that at that age. I was probably a little bit taller than Charlie is, at that same age. I was skinny as a rail. It looked like a 1-iron. So, we're the way we move, the way we push off, way he pushes off, and how I used to push off, very similar. But that's what's neat about this event. You look at the history of the event, and you look at the mannerisms of the father and the child. I mean, to me, the best of all time is watching the Stadlers play. I mean, that's just the absolute best. I mean, the frustrations, the enjoyment, the club throws, this everything about it. That was the best. And just the little quirks that we have, as we don't realize that we have quirks that that we do, but our kids copy them. That's what they've seen us do. And this event, throughout the years, if you put a highlight package and you see all the different little quirks that the parents have and the childs have definitely picked up.
Thank you.
Just the timeline to come back and play this tournament, how much of that was because Charlie wanted to, or because of the unique tournament that it is?
Well, I think it's just being able to have the bonding experience of being out there with Charlie. Unfortunately, this year's been very hard, and I hadn't been able to play at all until I think this might be my second or third round this year. So it's been a long year. But just the fact that I'm able to play and have this experience with him and watch him hit shots or encourage him to hit shots, where to think. There's one thing I can do. I can't think my way around the golf course. I might be able to execute it, but I can help strategize some of his shots and where to miss it, how to hit it, things of that nature. And then just make sure that he's in his little bubble and he's having fun. I mean, it's the two Joeys and the Woodses together out there, and we're in our little bubble where we're chatting away, we're talking about sports and we're having a great time, and then we get a chance tomorrow to play with the Thomases, which are like our second family. So it's we've become so close that I think Charlie's like Justin's like a little brother he never had, and Justin's become the little brother I never had. And so we're extremely close to the family. We do a lot of things together, and to be able to have that experience tomorrow again, we don't want them wearing that belt again, so we're going to give it our best. Christmas dinner wasn't quite as pleasurable last year as it hopefully will be this year.
Tiger, I know you said you got a long way to go, but knowing what you know right now about your body and your golf swing, do you have in your head attainable goals for 2022?
That's a good question. I still have a long way to go in this rehab process. As I said, I don't have the endurance to be out here and to play at the tour level. This is different. You saw it out there. I was hitting around here. I can drop a ball here, hit a few wedges here, do that. But to go out there and have 220 yards and know that you have to hit a 3 or 4 iron and miss the ball in the correct spot, and hit certain shots, and one stroke determines whether you win or lose. That's a totally different mindset than what we have out here this week. and I'm not there yet.
Last one, Sean.
What have you seen from the new driver that led to you putting it in the bag, and how does it feel versus hitting a titanium face?
Well, first of all, they've moved the CG more forward, so I'm able to curve the ball more. And you guys all know that I've always been a player that has worked the golf ball. And so yes, it's given me the ability to hit draws and hit cuts. I didn't like having just only one shot. The driver setup that we had for Augusta allowed me to draw the golf ball, but when I hit the cut, it was really short. I don't have that difference anymore. They're very similar, which is huge. And hey, you gotta love the colors. So.
Thanks, Tiger. We appreciate
You got it, guys. All right, no worries.